It's your boy She's Blanco. Welcome back, Episode 2. I'm glad y'all back to Growth Over Fear podcast / mental health talks. That's what we'll go with. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope y'all week's been going great. Hope y'all been taking every bit of every moment to sit in that moment and not be overwhelmed or anxious. And hopefully none of y'all are depressed, because we don't want that. We want to have a whole year, or we might have some slips, but we don't want to slip too deep to where we're in a deep depression. So today, right, I wanted to kind of talk about how we get there. Like, in most cases, when the anxiety strikes so high, or when you fall into that deep depression, right? So I feel like, and this is just me, just, spitballing, maybe it might be a little different for you or somebody else. But in most cases, your anxiety and your depression comes from being too overwhelmed. Whether that's like you're overwhelmed in the sense of, something financially. It could be your relationship. It could be, family drama or something, where it's just so much, constant pounding on you to where you feel like you have to, shell shock. You have to, go into that dark place, which in later depression sets in, because now we've set and got really anxious and shut down, and now we're trying to figure out the best ways or whichever type of coping mechanism you use to move forward through that. And sometimes I think we don't use the best ways to get there or get out of there. So then that's when the depression hits hard, because we're so overwhelmed with everything that's going on, and we're not thinking about that moment. Then we're thinking about everything that's leading up down that way, the unknown, the things that we have no answers for, but we're going to constantly keep thinking about it. Mind starts to spiral, and now we're in this point where we're just super lost, and it's like, okay, we can't do anything about it now, but we're going to think about it, because most cases that's how anxiety works. It's never too much of what's happening then. It's about what's going to happen way later down, but it starts from maybe something triggering us or something, just happening. Excuse me. I know for myself, like, it'll be, maybe so, like, it'll be smaller things, like I'll be thinking about, like, I need to get a GOF merch drops done fast. I need to have this done or whatever. And it's like, okay, the finances, I got to be putting this much into it and this much. So then, like, the anxiety starts to build, because I think it's a threshold to it too. So it's like, it'll build. And then, once the pipe cracks, that's when, everything occurs. So that, for me personally, like, yeah, that would be like, a time where, like, I'm just constantly thinking about things in a financial, or, like, I might be, something's wrong in this relationship or something. So many different things that can, I had a really bad problem of trying to please everybody. It was one of the biggest things that was triggering my anxiety and all types of things, because it's like, I'm just trying to just make sure everything is going good and everybody's happy and all this type of thing. And then, once I got to the point where I kind of wasn't happy with myself, it didn't really matter if everybody was happy anymore, because I was already at a boiling point where I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with anything that was going on in my life, and I needed to make a change. So, as I said in the previous video, and that breaking point, what I told myself what I'll do is just put myself first. And that's the one thing, right? Now, within that, I'm not saying I'm being, selfish or anything in that case, but I cannot give if I don't give to myself first. So within taking my time to make sure that my emotions and everything are balanced and I'm good, so that I can be able to go and smile and move forth and help anybody who needs help. Because if you're helping with nothing inside of you, you're just constantly just doing the same thing. It's like you're giving, an empty teapot trying to pour tea. It's nothing in there. You're just you're giving out gas and air. It's nothing there. So that's what I told myself for the next year, the following year, for this year now, to just pour into myself, to give to me, not so much try to worry about everybody else, but just worry about me first. So take the day when I wake up to just sit in that moment. Whatever task or anything that I need to get done or get finished or whatever it may be, I do one at a time. One thing gets done. Once that's done, I move to the next, because I will constantly just stack stuff on me to where I'm not getting anything done. I'm anxious. Then like when that happens over so much time and days, then I'm depressed. Now I want to get out of bed. There's a whole bunch of stuff, right? So while taking one task at a time, whether that's like just the simplest thing, like, get up, take my vitamins, eat breakfast, whatever it might be, just get up at a good time and get everything done. Post the stuff I need to post, contact a seller about something, or do something like in these orders of certain things. Just one of those tasks, get it done. Make a phone call that I need to make, that has something to do with, maybe one of my projects that I need to get done or something. So that's what I told myself. And since starting to do that, I'm in a way better place when it comes to, even like, sometimes I don't know what it is. I think when you battle, anxiety or depression, it's always there, but you kind of just learn better ways to push it away and be like, it's not as bad, it's more of a mental game, truly. So when you live in that mental and you let it take over, that's when it grabs you whole. But I still have days where something might trigger. It's not depression for me in the now right now. Year's still early, and I'm not even putting that negativity in the air. But it's mostly been like anxiety. I'm not like when started to deal with anxiety and stuff. It became a point where I started to get like social anxiety. So like if I'm out or I'm at the gym or something like that, like it'll be more of something like that, like I'll just feel kind of anxious like inside of me. But just as you speak it and you like, you got to kind of tell yourself like you're fine, everything is good, what I'm saying, don't trip. That's what gets you to get past certain things. And it's step by step. Everybody's different. Everybody can't just be like, oh, okay, whatever. Some people have like real crippling, anxiety. And I've been there, I've been there to a point of not being able to leave my home, or just not wanting to really be around people and stuff like that, because I didn't want to be looked at as like odd or weird or whatever it may be, because everybody doesn't understand what you're dealing with. So what I was getting to that point, which is the statement of what I was saying, that with trying these new things, and maybe y'all can try it if y'all having a hard time with dealing with your anxiety or anything, just simple tasks, one at a time. Just do that, knock it out. Don't get too overwhelmed, and don't overbook yourself. When you start to overbook yourself and you sit in that mindset of thinking I have to do this, I have to do this, and stop making yourself so available to things that you may not be able to get done. Because that's also was a thing. Like if somebody tells me like, oh, we got to do this or something like that, and it's like something you can't really get out of, but you're not sure if you really want to do it, it'll like mess me up mentally, because I'd be like, oh man, I was going to do this, but I didn't want to do that, but I want to say no to this person. Start saying no. Do what's best for you. Nobody controls what you do, right? If you don't want to do something, simple. I'm not doing it. I don't feel good enough. I don't know. Let me work at something else and maybe I'll get back to you type of deal. So don't feel like you have to do everything. Like some things you can just be like, no, I got to handle this. I got to get this. Take the baby steps you need to get to the bigger stuff. Like I told myself this year, I'm doing a lot more. Like I said, I had crippling anxiety to where I didn't really want to go places. I haven't been on an airplane in so long and certain things, but I'm going to do all these things now because that's who I was before. But through my growth and how I'm changing, I'm still that same person. I'm just that person in a different element. And I mean that in all the greater parts, within, seeing the bad and how, I truly think within going through the depression and anxiety, it changed me at certain points that were bad because I didn't know how to really get past it, or like I was using all the wrong things to get past it, and I just kind of turned into a person that wasn't really good to certain people. I wouldn't say to everybody, but it changed me, and it wasn't good. So now, within going through what I had just went through and really looking in the mirror and analyzing that all that I needed to be and who I was going to become was there. I had to start letting go of bad habits and things and self-sabotage and all those things, because that's what truly makes everything the whole thing. Is when I was big on self-doubt. So like I would just constantly, no matter, I had good people around telling me great stuff, like, how good and how, this and that, but in here in myself, like it would take one person to say something wrong to me in a negative way about me, and it just sat there in my head, and it would just like play over and again, and I'd start hearing other stuff, or whatever, and it's just like I'm not. It would make me shut down and think that I was just terrible, just most worthless person in the world, basically. And with faith and definitely just getting into my word at times, and just taking the right steps to do better stuff. I kind of pulled myself out, and then everything just started to seem different. Like after that last break, it just, everything was different. And like I said, these new methods that I try to use, just instead of self sabotage, like I said before, self mastery. Like I just kind of tell myself, like, man, you can do whatever. And I try to, even within telling myself, I try to tell any and everyone I'm around, like, you're capable of doing anything. Like, don't self sabotage yourself, because that's when everything just starts to go down. We have to learn how to be better and speaking positive, because there's so much negative stuff in the world already, and it's just not worth it truly. Like if you want to be happy, and I know it sounds like cliche, it's all up to you. It's in your mind. I seen it. Like I literally put myself in a box, like, and I stopped like doing anything, and I just was just on this like this dark road, and all I really had to do was listen to myself and pull myself out to where I knew and understood that who I was and who I'm going to become, because who I am now is not who I'm going to be in 2 years or how many. But I'm not even thinking too far ahead, because like I said, live in that moment and the task. Every day you're different, and every day you get up is a great chance to make yourself better. So when doing these things, and when you guys take the time and you guys look in the mirror and try to figure out what triggers you or what makes you get super anxious or what puts you in that depressive state, write it down. You know what I'm saying? Really write it down and think about it and talk about it. You can talk about it amongst yourself, or even, with a person. Like if your relationship is going crazy and is making you overwhelmed and you're anxious and stuff, maybe a conversation needs to be had where you can be open and honest. But if a person doesn't want to listen to you and tell you about, and go, not really go back and forth, but listen to understand, not listen to respond, you might know what you have to do. You may have to walk away. If it's your job, find a way, like find a way to make it a better, more healthy environment, so you're not so anxious or certain things. If it's just, like I said, like friendships, whatever it might be, certain things, you just, maybe it might be, like maybe if, drinking or something, whatever it is making you, depressed or whatever, you got to start cutting out certain things. You got to stop doing things you used to do, the old you, to be the better you, Like I was excessively drinking to a point where it's like, it was the only time I felt something, like when I was like cool and like, my emotions got a little better and I wasn't, but then it also at points it made me really angry. Like I would just be mad all the time, and it was triggering. People would trigger me to be so angry and stuff like that. And I don't think they meant to. I just think it was so fast that it pulled me to a thing that I thought I had under control to I didn't have it under control like I did, but I do now. And that's the blessing about life, though. So no matter what, just know the moment. Overwhelming situations come from thinking too far down the road. So all I want y'all to understand, thinking too much about something that's not even happening yet, could be happening later down the road. You gotta just live right now. Handle your business today. When when you get to the next day, handle that business there. There's no reason to constantly, badger yourself and live in your mind to where it's stopping you from having a good life. Life is not forever, and it sucks to say, every day, every day you get a chance to open your eyes, you have a chance to be better. Even if you made mistakes in the past or whatever it may be, and this has changed you and people look at you differently, it doesn't mean that you can't still get back to where you want to be. And in some cases, if people think that you change because you can't do things the way you used to because you have, your depression or your anxiety, then those are probably people you shouldn't be around, because you should feel comfortable in your skin and around whoever you choose to be around. If you can't, and they're always making comments and picking and doing all that stuff at you, you probably truly know what you need to do, and that's probably walk away. And that, even if that's family or whatever, whoever it may be, it doesn't matter. You're the person who matters. You matter. So as you matter, make sure you put you first, so that you're growing for the best of you, not for nobody else. If you're choosing to grow for another person, it's probably not the best idea, because if that person don't care that you're growing, that person says something to you to where it doesn't matter, it's going to hurt you. So grow for you. Pour into yourself every day. Tell yourself how great you are, how strong you are, how beautiful you are. Whatever it may be. Just say it. Say those words. Every day you wake up, just be like, I'm the chosen one. It might sound crazy, right? But as you keep putting that in the air, you'll start to realize and know just who you are. And you'll get there. You'll get to that great enlightenment of, now you're not thinking the way you used to, or moving the way you used to, or doing the things you used to do, because you're so excited for the progression. You're loving the progression of yourself. And all it does is take those, we're going to call this episode Task and Methods, which one single task, get it done, move to the next. And that's the methods you should use if you shall choose. This is just me, something that I do to help you get past your anxiety at times, or to get you out of your depression. You might have to get rid of a few things, or change some things around. Maybe change your room around, whatever it may be, change your house around. Certain things make a big difference, truly. But it's the start of this, we 24 days in this joint. It's a bunch, like I said, it's a bunch of more episodes coming. I'm always gonna come here and speak. If it's just me alone, I'm gonna speak on what I feel needs to be said, and I feel like that was a good one. Task and methods. Just don't overwhelm yourself with tasks that you can't get done, or let people throw stuff on you so where now you can't get it figured out. Don't do that, because that's ultimately gonna hurt you. Be okay with saying no. Be okay with saying I'm busy, or I got something to do. Simple things, right? And that's what's going to help you get forward to where you want to be. Your task, not nobody else's things that you need to get done for you, right? That's all I got for y'all today. I really appreciate it. If y'all really made it to the end, I love it. I love all the support. I don't care if it's 1 view, 2 views, 1 comment, 1 like. It doesn't matter. If I helped you in any way to understand that you're not alone, and that you can do literally anything you want to if you choose to. You just have to stop allowing people and other things to stop you from being you. Don't look to that person to try to be like them. Just be you. Do what you need to do for you. Whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to help you be you. You were put on this earth to be the best you. You weren't put on this earth to be like that person or that person. Can never be anybody else but yourself. And like I said, I appreciate all y'all. Whoever watched, it's peace and love. Hope to see y'all again. Thank you.